30 seconds.
Hey, what's up YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to basically be about a lot of the gear that I'm using, whether it is performance gear or just generalized gear. So there's a few things here that are pretty cool or I find pretty cool that I'm using. So the first thing I'm using is a Garmin 735 XT with a wrist-based heart rate monitor. Now, I don't use this very often. Well, I mean, I can't turn the heart rate monitor, or I don't turn the heart rate monitor off, but I don't use it as a tracker very often. There's been a few times I've used it. One time was I was having a panic attack in the middle of class, and I had this on, so I just looked at the heart rate to see what it was at. I know it's not the most accurate, but that's what I did, and it turned out that my heart rate was, after sitting for 3 hours, my heart rate was resting at 120, which was not good. So I definitely was having a panic attack. So then I have a few things that actually connect to this watch that I do use that are more accurate, which I'll get to in a minute. Another thing I use, and I use this for performance metrics, more so I use it when I'm mostly when I'm sleeping. So what I do is I charge this every day. This is a Fitbit Charge HR with wrist-based heart rate monitor. And what I do is I charge this all day, and then I wear this at night. And then the first thing I do when I wake up in the morning is I look at, you can click this button here, and it goes over to beats per minute. And if you tap it once, it'll tell you your resting heart rate, which is consistently at around 57. The reason I do that is because if I am, if my resting heart rate is 5 to 10 beats per minute higher than normal, that means that I'm overtraining and I need to take some time off. So I wear this only at night when I sleep. Now, the other thing I'm going to go back to is that connects to this watch is one of them is this is my Garmin Tri heart rate strap. So what happens is I wear this when I'm biking, running, or open water swimming with my wetsuit on. I don't wear this to swim in pools because it doesn't have enough, the width isn't big enough. So what happens is when I swim, it catches in the water and it flops all over the place. So what I do is I only wear this for, I only wear this for running, biking, and triathlon swimming when I have something on top. Because the suit tends to hold the strap down more. And there's these little rubber things here. This blue stuff's all rubber, so it helps hold it down, which is pretty cool. So I wear this also when I'm doing strength training. So I have a strength setting on my watch. I set it to strength training. I connect it to this. I take this off so that my wrist isn't impeded or held back in movement by the watch. I put this on a table and I just wear this for the entire strength training session. It helps me keep track of my heart rate, see where if I'm overtraining or how high or how much of a aerobic toll it's taking on my body doing a strength training session. But also I can see the calories, so I can make sure that I'm getting enough calories in to keep my workouts at a higher level, but also making sure that I'm not overeating. I'm not having too many calories. I'm not assuming that a workout burned 500 calories when really only burned 200 calories. I know it's only a couple hundred calories off, but it's also with helping me lose weight so that I can keeping track of calories. So there's this one. This is the Tri version. This one here is the swim version. As noted by, there's a little swim person right there, a swim thing there. So the big difference with this one is it has an additional strap that connects here. So this one is very tough rubber band-ish or resistance band. So this is very, the one on this one is very relaxed. This one is very stiff, and then it connects to another nylon-ish strap that then connects here. So this part connects around to this part. This one is also, the width is, or the width of the strap is much wider. So you can see, I'll overlap them. So you can see how much wider this one is. So the black is my my tri heart rate monitor. The blue is the swim one. So basically, there's less movement. There's less flexibility. So once you get it tight, you have to be careful with the breathing. It also says when you adjust it to make sure it doesn't impede your breathing much. But because it's so stiff, it's hard to not impede my breathing. But you have to be careful when you adjust it. Especially when I've lost weight, it's harder to adjust because there's this adjustment, and then this whole strap here adjusts as well. But like I said, this whole part, everything that's not, so this part right here is where the electrode is. So everything that's blue here is rubberized or sticky, has some type of stick to it. So I use that when I'm swimming, and when I'm any type of swimming that I do that I don't have some type of shirt on top, because that does not need to be held down by anything externally. Whereas my tri heart rate monitor has to be held down externally by a shirt or some sort of clothing. The other thing I'm going to talk about, this is another performance meter I have. This is called a Stride Pod. I believe this is 2.0. So basically what happens is it's been shown in labs to be more accurate than a normal, than like a treadmill, for example. I think the reason for that is because sometimes on a treadmill, you'll slow down a little bit and you'll be on the back, and then you'll speed up and be more on the front of the treadmill. I don't know 100% about how it works. I haven't really looked into it too much. There's just a lot of stuff that they haven't necessarily released because of, for obvious reasons, for patenting reasons. One of the cool things it does have here is not the little silver things, but above my finger there's a little hole. That hole, it tracks the wind. So basically, if you're running it into a headwind, it will track the power as more than if you're running on a calm day. Again, this is Stride Power Meter 2.0, so it tells you how much power you're producing in your running, which is kind of a new thing for running. I also have 2 performance meters for my bike. I do not have a power meter for my bike because those are like between $500 and $1,000. I have a cadence sensor and a speed sensor on my bike. So the cadence sensor is good for everything, whether it's indoor or outdoor riding. I usually try to stay between 80 and 90 RPM or cadence on my bike. And when I'm really struggling to be at it, when I'm at a certain gear that I've been at for a while, for example, I'm consistently at my ninth gear right now. If I'm struggling to stay at 79 to 80 RPM, and I look at my heart rate rate's really high. That means I haven't recovered enough, and it's pretty nice because I can, see pretty much real-time data. The reason I say pretty much real-time data is because there is a lag time between what you are currently going and what your watch says versus a power meter, which is the power it says on your watch is what you're currently going. It's it's an immediate feedback. The other thing I use is a speed sensor. Now this one is only really important for when I'm riding indoors. It goes around the back axle of my bike while I'm on the indoor trainer, and it basically tracks how fast you're going, the distance you're going, even though there's other things to look into like tire pressure, how many times you turn the back part of the cyclops to back the drive wheel up to the back of the wheel of the bike, and stuff like that. So I have those things. Now in a minute I'm going to go over some of the other I'm going to go over some of the other general gear I have. That doesn't necessarily improve performance, but things I'm using to get through the races and stuff like that. So I'll be back in a second. See you later. So this is my Argon 18 tri bike with disc brakes. So as you bike I've been using for about 3 months now. When I bought it, as you can see, I have the speed sensor here, the disc brake there. I have it hooked up to my Cyclops trainer. This is the knob that you turn that can change the resistance on the bike. There's also a knob on the other side, right here actually, that changes the resistance level. I then have on this side, right here, I have my cadence sensor. And then all of this goes back to the watch that I already showed you. So representing is the score of this Love and Sprockets Summer Sizzler. That was a triathlon I did. So, let's see here. So there's a few things here I use for performance measures, or not for performance measures, to increase my performance or gear I'm going to be using. So something I just got, besides my bike that I also just got a couple months ago, was free with the bike, was a Garnet aero helmet. So what happens is on here there's a spot for a visor to attach. As you can see, I haven't used it yet because the tags are still attached, but aero helmet that I'm going to be using eventually. The cool thing is I thought I broke it at first one time because these pop open like that to get it on, and I thought I broke it, but apparently that was not the case. So something I also recently got was triathlon cycling cleats. So these are easily slip-on, as you can see. One thing with these though is it's cool is that, so you see this shoe here, right? So you pop this open and there's a little notch right here, and then this gets generally held right in there. The other one is the bigger one, this one. It gets held also by that similar thing, so you put it into place, but also there's a little piece of Velcro here that clips down on that so that you can get your foot in without any problems. I was previously using as cycling cleats for normal speed stuff and for just general cycling was these Bontrager cycling cleats. Problem is though, is that the other day I broke them, as you can see. So I'm getting a new pair, not of these. I'm going to get the Road non-tri version of these. So you saw my bike, you saw my cleats, you saw my my helmet. Another thing I'll show you in a second is my racing flats that I'm currently wearing. I'm going to get eventually going to get the Hyperion, the Brooks Hyperion Tempo, which I have not gotten yet. I'm planning on getting those soon. But what I wear right now is a pair of shoes that I'll show you in 1 second. So these are the racing flats that I'm currently wearing. They are the Brooks Launch tie-dye edition. I also have these neon green elastic lock laces for the triathlon aspect, so I can just slip them on and put them right on. I've worn them for 2 triathlons so far and 1 or 2 road races, but these are my racing flats right now. Unfortunately, I'm currently injured with an Achilles problem, so currently I am not racing or able to train or race in those with everything going on, especially. So I think that's all I have to show you guys right now. So thank you for watching, and I will see you guys later.